is Folake Taylor. I'm an MD and I specialize in internal medicine. That's essentially adult medicine. I commonly treat conditions like hypertension, diabetes, heart failure, asthma, congestive heart failure, and stuff like that. I don't treat pregnant women or kids, and I don't perform any surgeries. Presently, I actually practice in an outpatient setting in a doctor's office. I also happen to be an author, and I wrote a book. It's called The Only Way Is Up, The Journey of an Immigrant, and here it is right here. And today I actually want to share with us a chapter from the book. It's titled Nutrition, Exercise, Weight, and Health. This is very pertinent to women in general, especially African women, and more so for those of us who live in the United States. It may not be obvious to people who have always lived in the United States, but on the whole, we have some of the largest people in the world in this country. And even my idea of a person's ideal size or weight has been skewed since I moved here. Most of us who feel we are the right size, or who are perceived by other people to be just right, are usually still overweight. I weigh almost 30 pounds more than I did when I initially came to this country. This is a fact I'm not proud of, but I'm thankful I realized what was happening early. I'm not a naturally slim person by any means, not since my late 20s anyway. Staying a comfortable weight is a daily struggle. The day you get satisfied and stop making an effort is the day you start to add weight. A pound at a time is all it takes. The key is that I do not eat everything I feel like eating. I do not eat the amount that I feel like eating, even of my favorites. And definitely, I do not eat every time I feel like eating. It is called discipline. We never need to go on any special diet with a fancy name because diets do fail. Any drastic measures with regards to food usually do fail, be it a diet or exercise regimen. I prefer to think of it as a lifestyle change. You change one or two things at a time that you can live with, and once that becomes second nature to you, you pick another one or two things. It may take years to get your nutrition right, but it will last, as opposed to a yo-yo diet where your diet is also like a yo-yo. And because knowledge is increasing, you can always learn new things about food. As an MD, I noticed that a lot of people decide it's time to lose weight and immediately make an appointment to see their physician to ask for weight loss medicine. If they came to their MD for advice on diet and exercise, it would be great, but they usually have their mind made up to go the route of weight loss medicine. This is not the correct approach. There is no shortcut for weight loss, and what usually ends up happening is if you cannot discipline yourself to achieve a lifestyle change, but instead rely on medicine to help you achieve it, when you go off that medicine, you gain the weight back and even more. No pain, no gain. Most people are unable to sustain the weight loss, so I have to start by deprogramming their mindset about how to lose weight, and then I teach them a few basic principles that will make an initial difference. It is no magic, and if you don't have adequate control, any weight loss with assistance may not last. People have become obese again after gastric bypass surgery because if you eat enough, you can stretch your stomach back. Your goal weight compared to where you are presently, of course, determines how drastic your measures to lose weight are. Some people need bariatric intervention in the form of a gastric bypass or lap band surgery. Staying or getting to your ideal weight is usually a combination of eating right as well as exercise. The key is to burn as much or more calories than you take in on a daily basis, otherwise weight gain is inevitable. The simplest way to calculate your ideal body weight is to determine what your body mass index, BMI, is first. There are several BMI calculators on the web, so you need not concern yourself with the exact formula as long as you are using an adult BMI calculator. A Google search will easily pull up the options. Weight Watchers has a simple one online, and it takes into account your height and weight, and classifies you as underweight, normal weight, overweight, or obese. There are also tables that tell you what you should weigh for your height. These are color-coded to determine how far you are from where you should be and how much weight you need to lose to get in the normal weight zone for your height. Here are some of the changes we have made in my household over several years. And I cannot take credit for all of the good nutrition choices or changes by any means. My husband discovered and initiated some of the changes while my mother also did the same. My mother even went further by searching out health food stores in the area that are not as popular as, for example, Harris Farmers Market or Whole Foods. 8 years ago, she discovered this co-op or health food store, and we still patronize them till this day. In my home, we try to go the organic route or all natural on a lot of food items, especially fruit. Believe it or not, the quality of nutrients and even the taste is different. It is unfortunate that even though I had wanted to and tried to go this route for years, we really could not afford it as two working professionals with one child until recently. That is why obesity is more prevalent in the lower socioeconomic group. Healthy food is pricey. I'm at a point in my life where supersize is a bad term, and any fast food meal deal or sandwich for $1 gets a negative reaction from me. I immediately think, how healthy can the products that went into the preparation of this food be at $1? Probably not very healthy. We opt for whole grain bread as opposed to regular white bread, mostly. White wheat is acceptable for white bread lovers. There is a trick to this by the supermarkets, however. Some are labeled multi-grain, but it just means several kinds of grains are in it. It may still be more processed than you want and not really whole grain. Some are also labeled enriched. Usually the enriched flour is one that was initially bleached and possibly stripped of some of its nutrients. Enriching is essentially adding those nutrients back. Some brands or specific types of whole grain or whole wheat bread are better than others. We realized recently that the brand we had been buying was higher in calories per slice and serving, thus making one slice of bread at 90 calories or more. Some other brands, however, were not as dense in calories, and with calories ranging between 50 and 140 calories per slice of whole grain bread. And for the most part, whole wheat or whole grain bread is denser in calories than white bread, so you may be losing all of the benefit of eating the healthier form if you convert slice to slice. Sound complicated? It took us years to get there, and we're still learning. Just read your labels. We're also trying to get some whole grain pasta or spinach pasta whenever we can. That being said, a multi-grain bagel with low-fat cream cheese could be up to 500 calories. That would be a very heavy breakfast by the time you add a drink to it. Bagels are generally very dense, and we tend to avoid those nowadays. That was actually featured recently on an Oprah episode with Dr. Oz. And you would actually do better eating 2 glazed donuts for breakfast than the multi-grain bagel. We have also replaced white sugar with what is known as demerara cane sugar. It's also called turbinado sugar. It is a kind of brown sugar which is tastier and healthier because it is all natural and unrefined. It's great with tea, especially herbal tea. And many herbal teas have antioxidants which help boost your immunity and fight illnesses as well. We generally do not advocate for artificial sweeteners, just a healthier natural sugar or sweetener, and use it sparingly as well. But then again, none of us are diabetics. We also use a lot of honey as an alternative. There have been talks about artificial sweeteners causing cancer, and this has not been scientifically proven according to the National Cancer Institute. These sweeteners are still FDA approved. Equal, which is aspartame, however, does carry a cautionary note for phenylketonuria. There's a book called Sweet Poison which talks about aspartame poisoning, and it links that to worsening symptoms of fibromyalgia as well as multiple sclerosis. If you must, Splenda is said to be the safest on the market of these artificial sweeteners. People also have the tendency to think that they can have more of certain foods because they are sugar-free. forgetting that carbohydrates and other ingredients or additives may be just as harmful. If we can practice moderation, even with regular sugar, we may end up better off than splurging on certain food items because the sugar in them has been replaced by sugar substitutes. We all need to cut back on our salt intake, but if you are hypertensive, it's actually not a choice anymore, it's a necessity. And I would advise that you try to buy sea salt, which is a more natural form of salt and possibly easier for the body to process as well. Salt substitutes are not a good option in many individuals. Most are potassium based as a replacement for the sodium, and this is not recommended in certain medical conditions in which potassium excretion may be faulty or when you're on some kinds of medicine for your heart. Salt-free veggie-based seasonings like Mrs. Dash are a good alternative in this case. Fruits and vegetables are not nearly as abundant in most of our diets as it should be. Fresh vegetables are always better. We need to eat more than just the apples and grapes and oranges, bananas and melons. Pomegranates are high in antioxidants, and so is acai berry. And these are abundant in the health food stores as well as your grocery stores, and actually available also in the concentrated form and all year round. We also need to try kiwi, mango, papaya, which we call pawpaw in Nigeria, and other tropical fruit as well. We just need to learn to read our labels for the most part though. I bought pizza from a place called Little Caesars on my way back from work the other day, and I noticed it seemed to be low in sodium compared to other pizzas. When I got home, I checked online for the content, and I realized it had 280 calories per portion, which was a slice, and that was 1/8 of a pizza. It actually compared closely with the healthiest pepperoni pizzas in my little book. There's a book that I refer to called Eat This Not That, Supermarket Survival Guide. And a lot of food companies or restaurants, including the fast food restaurants actually, now have nutrition information readily available. And if it's not right there in the restaurant, you can check it online. I realized that the box of McDonald's 6-piece nuggets actually had information on it saying it's now 280 calories and it's made with a mix of some canola-based oil, which is healthier than what they used to use before. Needless to say, I have eaten considerably less since I started to check my calories. And I'm sure someone is thinking I must not be a very serious person about eating right, talking about pizza and McDonald's. But I do have a child, and I'm mostly maintaining my weight, not actually trying to lose weight currently. Of course, if I weighed 500 pounds and I was trying to get healthier, I would be taking more drastic measures. And for example, I could decide I want to eat ice cream occasionally, not all the time evidently, or I could even opt for frozen yogurt, which is the healthier alternative to that. And of course, if my health was in jeopardy from like diabetes and morbid obesity and I had sleep apnea, I would be singing a different song. We will take a break now and I'll be right back with you. I'm back. More talk about food. The fast food places also appear to sell salads now, and I've been opting for that a lot for many years. And one, however, still needs to be careful even with the salads. For example, a particular restaurant, which I'll not mention right now, they have their Caesar salad at 515 calories, out of which the croutons are 153 calories of that. However, another specialty salad that they have without any dressing in it has 836 calories, and so that's so much for healthy eating. Another interesting change that I noticed with the fast food joints is that some of them are replacing their fries with what they call apple fries or apple dippers, and that's at Burger King and McDonald's, and that's on their children's menu as well. That definitely impresses me. I have learned to pay attention to portion sizes as well. If I eat 3 slices of the pizza I mentioned earlier, obviously that would be a pretty calorie dense meal. For example, if one portion of a cookie is 160 calories, I really need to just eat one of that and not 2. Or it would be a better option if I decided to eat a 20 calorie cracker and I add just a little, a few of those as opposed to the calorie dense cookie. Generally, I can eat 3 times a day and snack twice if each meal is 400 to 450 calories and my snacks are no more than 200 to 250 calories in between. And this would be typical for a woman who's trying to maintain her weight at about 1800 calories a day. Men, of course, need a little more since they have more muscle mass and a faster metabolism. They are also typically more active than we women are, or at least we hope that they are. As a female trying to lose weight, however, your calories should be less than all of that I've talked about. It should be about 1500 calories, and you should be exercising actively. And remember, any drink that is not water counts towards your calories as well. Water is the best drink, and water helps flush out your system of toxins. It helps keep your skin healthier as well. When I slip on my water intake, my skin does not look as vibrant and as when I drink adequate amounts of water. It's quite noticeable to me, actually. I do not drink any diet sodas, and this is because there's been talk of the possible link to cancer or multiple sclerosis, like I mentioned, with the artificial sweeteners in the diet drinks. Even though there's not been any proven scientific basis for this, however, a paper was published early in 2008 in a journal called Circulation, and this claims a greater risk of metabolic syndrome, greater by 34% actually, among people who drink just 1 can of diet soda a day. This was cited by the New York Times, so I believe it's pretty authentic. The metabolic syndrome is a constellation of risk factors for heart disease, diabetes, and basically it includes elevated blood pressure, elevated cholesterol, and elevated blood sugar, as well as an abdominal obesity around your meat portion of your body. And this raised the question of whether it was secondary to a chemical in the diet soda or a behavior among the people who drink it. Personally, I have noticed that people end up drinking so many diet sodas a day, it may have been better if they just drank 1 regular soda. The local fresh market near where we live has a lot of tasty all-natural juices, fruit smoothies, tea and soy mixes, and basically I've seen some of this in the local grocery stores as well. I believe it's alright to trick your child into eating healthy. My daughter loves chicken nuggets and can eat it at every meal, and I had to get creative with that. I started to buy veggie nuggets as well as spinach and artichoke nuggets as well. And it may sound crazy, but I actually make a mental note of her calories. We all know obesity in children is a problem in America. I also try to feed her snacks that are not calorie dense between her meals. At some point after she turned 1, she stopped eating fresh fruit, and I got creative again. Now she loves the Gerber freeze-dried fruits, and they keep her regular. She also loves raisins and cranberry raisins. And she likes the fruit and vegetable blends and actually will drink a smoothie with me. I used to try to eat her leftovers until I realized that adding that to my healthy meal was also raising my calories, and I had to stop doing that. Now we'll take a break and I'll be right back. I also used to try to eat my child's leftover meals along with mine until I realized that that was actually raising my caloric intake as well, and it was not such a good idea. That will be all for this week, and we'll be back next week with the second part of my nutrition information. Thank you.